Alright, what is going on, guys? SpitefulHopes back again, coming at you with a Let's Fix round 1 of 1000 Year Blood War. But first, a message from our sponsor. So yeah, make sure to use the download link down below for LD Player. LD Player is an emulator, and for those that do have a PC, like, it is honestly the way to go when it comes down to it. You save the battery of your phone whenever you play on an emulator, if you can play on an emulator instead of your mobile device. Personally, I only play on PC, personally, like, just because it just makes my life easier, and I don't want to go through phone batteries like I have been in the past. I literally was buying new phones just to cover it. I know I could pay for a new battery, but like, anyways, if you want to use the download link down below, it'll help me out and support the channel. Without further ado, let's just get right into fixing 1000 Year Blood War round 1. Alright, so going into it, 1000 Year Blood War round 1 has been out from September 30th, 2017. It was probably one of the most hyped times for Bleach Brave Souls, and honestly, at this time, these characters are all relatively outdated. The only one, in my opinion, that has really survived is probably Toshiro, and the only way Toshiro, in my opinion, is competitive with the characters that are coming out nowadays is if you have him max transcended, and that is a tough cookie to crack, especially considering that these characters don't really come by too often. Let me see, how many times has Toshiro come out in the last for his last 3 rotations of a banner, right? He came out January 19th with the individual of Daddy Ichigo, and then before that it was July 6, 2020. So there was a 7-month difference here, and then July in between to March, April, May, June, July, and that was another 4 months. So 4 months, then 7 months. So in the span of an entire year, this character has only been out 3 times. Only twice, and yeah, damn, in the last year he's only been out twice. That's crazy. Anyways, either way, Toshiro is still one of the excellent characters that was released during his time, and I feel like he's one of those characters that doesn't really require much. So obviously, when we're talking about round 1, and I will do this for every single round, we do have Shansui, Toshiro, Byakuya, the infamous Byakuya petition for those that were around that time, and Sajin. Oh, dude. So going into Toshiro, he is a strong attack recharge link, which is really good. Hollow killer with frenzy, freeze on everything, debilitator plus 5 seconds, frenzy, long reach plus 20% for his nat string, sprinter plus 1, weakened defense on his ultimate with the freeze with the debilitator plus 5 seconds, made him an excellent character when it came to nuking, because he also had the devastation 40% with the weakened defense, and all that just dealt into a ton of damage. I remember when I first showcased a 5 of 5 Toshiro just to see how much damage you would deal with like double tension tie. This was also during a time where you didn't have Senkaizens, you didn't have crazy amounts of full stamina damage boost, and overall I do think that this character aged incredibly well, especially for his time. Going into his kit, he does have a standard lunge for strong attack, an 800 AoE circle in front, and then a standard third strong attack, just standard full screen third strong attack. One thing to note though is that his lunge is a 575 radius, and he actually does not have Havoc 20%. That 575 radius is actually really big, so times 1.2, that's going to be a 690 lunge. Now if I go into a character like 5th anniversary Ichigo, you'll see here that 5th anniversary Ichigo, like 570 is a standard lunge when it comes down to a character having a lunge with Havoc. And Toshiro, since he doesn't have Havoc, I feel like something like Havoc would make him actually really busted, because then he would have a 690 first strong attack for a lunge, and then his second strong attack would be a 960, and then his third strong attack would be a 1200 radius. I do feel like Havoc is Havoc's not being given to mid-month characters, which is kind of bugging me, and I think that 1000 Year Blood War, if they are able to make these characters actually not just playable but really top tier, I feel like that could be enormous for the community as a whole. Now, I did put this poll up on my channel, and I said, if you still play Bleach Brave Souls, and it's important that you still play Bleach Brave Souls, do you have 1000 Year Blood War Sajin? And the reason that I said, do you have 1000 Year Blood War Sajin, wasn't because I want to see people flex. I don't care about the people who have quit the game in terms of this poll in particular, because what I wanted from this poll is, if KLab were to make these characters OP, would it cause KLab to lose money or make money? Like, would it generate them more income? Now, these are characters that are already made. KLab doesn't really have to do much to them aside from just change a couple things. Like, should they give Sajin guard break? Should they give him you know, like a high bruiser, like a 40% bruiser, to, you know, bring him in line with the meta and stuff like that? And whether or not KLab would lose money, if in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, if they make Sajin busted, you might not need a melee NAD unit for mind, right? So I am quite interested in this type of logic, because whether this is more fruitful for KLab or whether this is bad for KLab, personally I feel like the better that they make these older characters that we spent money on in the past, I think the more consumer faith we would give to KLab, and the more faith we would have in terms of spending money. For those that are pay to play, I think that you guys would agree that if you guys spend money on a character, it would be nice if KLab showed some respect and actually, you know, like, let you know that this character that you're investing into, at the very least in a couple years, even if they're not as OP as they used to be, they can make a comeback. And I feel like it's just a respectful thing to do. I do play Dokkan, and I see that the resurrections on that game, Easy A's, so pretty much the same thing as resurrections for BBS. They do them so well, and they make them actually really busted for the time that they come out. And then of course they obviously slowly whittle down, but that also is a team-based game, so I understand why Dokkan can get away with that, whereas BBS, you only really need one good character per attribute, and then you can pretty much do almost all the content in the game, up until you try to do Senkaimon and Guild Quest, you know. But for the most part, most of the content in the game you can clear with just having one character of each attribute. So with Toshiro, I do think something along the lines of just honestly, if they give him strong attack damage as his link, and or a full stamina damage boost somewhere in his skill kit, I think that alone, along with Havoc 20%, would completely make this character pretty nasty. I think he would be awesome, and I think that people would actually want to summon for him. Havoc 20% I think is kind of necessary for SP based characters now, but like for his soul trait, strong attack damage or full stamina damage boost, those two in my opinion are the best. And I think that some people might even want to summon for duplicates just for the link alone. Like I know a lot of people that are summoning for movie Ichigo just for that link, let alone trying to get him 5 out of 5 just so that he's the best link for heart units, for SP based heart units, right? So going into Shansui, and Shansui does need quite a bit of work. Now he does have Havoc 20%, he does have a built-in Berserker, but no strong attack recharge. So first and foremost, just give him strong attack recharge either as a skill where it'll be 12%, or as in his soul trait so that he'll have a strong attack recharge minus 10%. That alone I think would make this character insanely much better. Give him another Berserker 20% like they did with movie Ichigo as well as Senna. So I think that they can get away with that too. This character is really cool because he has a 570 standard lunge for strong attack. Second strong attack is going to be the shockwave style ability, the boss killer if you will. This you get up close to an enemy that can't be pushed back and you will deal a ton of damage. And then his third strong attack is a standard 1200 radius full screen third strong attack. He also has a he was also the first character with the instant kill mechanic put into his special move, which is really cool as well. So he can get away with cheesing some stages in Senkaimon just because you only really need to take down 2 floors and then you can just insta kill the boss without fail. If you're for some reason not able to take out the boss, or if you're just trying to push out damage in case you're trying to get that sub 1 minute for those people running the stages. I think that for the original Senkaimon Tower of Forging, this character is I think he's floor 46 or 47. It's been a long time since I've done Tower Forging, but yeah. So for future reference, I do think that giving him like a strong attack recharge, yeah, just strong attack recharge, berserker or full stamina damage boost in his skills, I think this character would be just fine. Guard break would probably make him even better, just because his second strong attack is a range collision attack, so you kind of need those hits to go through for his second strong attack to actually be viable. Next on the list, next on the list, let's get into Sajin. Sajin, like I said, I do feel like there are some things that they can do with this character to make him nice. So first and foremost, give him damage reduction for his soul trait, so he's a normal attack damage reduction link. That alone will make him a usable link at the very least. And then, and in terms of just the skills, I feel like if they just gave him guard break, I think he would be just fine. Personally, I would like a bruiser of 20% with guard break, and then give him damage reduction for his soul trait. I think that alone would just, like, I mean, it's a lot to ask, I know, but I feel like that alone would just make this character all around just better. Since he isn't a Espada killer, for PvE content, he's not going to be really that busted for, so just giving him stuff that will make him viable in PvE while being okay in PvP, I think that in and of itself is pretty good. 762 attack, it's gonna go up to like 800. What is it? It's like, I think you get like 82 attack. It's been a while. That's let me see how much do you get from Resurrections, a movie one. That's the easiest way to do it. So 695. So 54 attack. Oh, it's the 80. It's like 82 spiritual pressure, or the 87. I'm just gonna. So 88 spiritual pressure and 695 attack. $54 attack. So with his attack going up to 54, 806. It's pretty good. That's actually pretty damn good, not gonna lie. I feel like this character definitely could make a comeback. And of course, last but not least, Byakuya. Now Byakuya, I feel like he could get strong attack recharge and frenzy. I think that's it. To be honest, he doesn't have a horrible kit. You know what? Guard break. Okay, so his first strong attack is gonna be a 300 length beam. His second strong attack is going to be a shave style ability, which is his second strong attack. Does have 24 hits on it, and this actually is a barrier, which is pretty cool. And his third strong attack is a standard full screen 1200 radius third strong attack. His first strong attack does have that split into 3 ways, I think, for the last hit. Unfortunately, his Nad string does have the stop thing, which means that when it hits an enemy, it'll immediately stop. It's not going to bleed through like Tokinata or the new ranged Nad characters. But honestly, I don't think he really needs it, since you kind of want to use your strong attacks with him anyways. My honest hopes is that he does get Frenzy, because I think he desperately needs it. He does have Havoc 20%, Sprinter +1, weakened defense and bombardment makes him absolutely nuts. All he really needs is strong attack recharge on his soul trait and frenzy, and that's pretty much it. I don't think he really needs much else. There was a petition, for those that are unaware, back in the day when he actually came out. A lot of people were so triggered that he didn't get frenzy that there was actually a big petition for KLab that obviously went nowhere. Actually, KLab responded to that petition. Yeah, so there was a petition going around. It had a crap ton of votes, and they actually responded to it. They didn't fix him or anything like that, but they did respond, and they specifically said something along the lines of, "We will do better." And I feel like with that, you know, it wasn't they didn't say I promise we'll do better, but I do feel like they fulfilled that promise, and a lot of the characters that are released nowadays are actually very, very good. It wasn't rare for characters back in the day to be like shafted or be trash when they came out in a banner. Like if I just go into if I just click here, now I want to go into like 2017, right? All right, here we go. So going into 2017, just alone, you have April 14th, mid-month. Literally every one of these characters was doo-doo. Every single one of these characters was doo-doo when they came out. Going into the end of the month for March 31st, Byakuya got horribly shafted. Tsukishima was great for his time. Yukio horribly shafted as well. And then going into mid-month for March, every single one of these characters was horrible, honestly. Going into the end of the month for February, you had the Believe banner. Really? Double chance to get 5-star. Did you take off a Kaku? Yeah, they didn't even feature Ikaku on the banner. That's funny. And in this banner, Ikaku was clearly shafted, while Toshiro was an excellent SP-based unit, and Broken was one of the most broken units for PvP, doing 3v1s. Mid-month for February, absolute trash. Every single one of these characters was crap on a release. End of the month, January, you had Ruruka, which was the most broken unit for her time. Renji was pretty mid, and then Rukia was pretty mid for her time as well. Mid-month January, you had Koga, Muramasa, and Kazashini. Kazashini was actually crap even when he came out. Muramasa, I think he got Frenzy. No, Muramasa did not get Frenzy. Okay, so he was shafted too. However, he did get Bombardment, even though he didn't get a full screen special move, because not many characters actually got full screen special moves during that time, 900 radius. And then Koga actually was the best unit in that banner, because he did have I believe he did have Frenzy when he originally came out. Yeah, Frenzy, Blast Zone plus 30%, because he didn't get a full screen special move either. He got a 2600 length beam. So it wasn't unlikely that a characters got shafted. So I'm really happy with how characters are being released now when it comes to 1000 Year Blood War, because almost every single one of them are completely playable, if not busted, and I'm completely satisfied with that. But either way, that is my overall thoughts on how to fix the 1000 Year Blood War round 1 banner. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Just grind on, catch up, hit me up, stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and a huge shout out to LD Player for sponsoring this video. And I do recommend getting an emulator, whether you like just getting an emulator just to save your phone battery. Like, the amount of times that my phone has died because of a faulty battery, because I've overused it when I've actually needed it when I'm hanging out with friends, when I used to do that. Young guys, grind on, catch up, hit me up, stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe. And hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.